Hey, welcome back to the Infamous Podcast. This is Brian.
This is Darryl.
And this is episode 485.
485.
Where's my title?
Slowly making our way.
Hold on. I have a title for it. It's called The Proof of Superhero Fatigue and Mini Golf Mayhem.
We're stumbling, what does Sarah McLachlan say? Stumbling towards ecstasy of 500?
Something, yeah, close. What are we, 15 away? Jeez. Well, actually, technically, we're 14 away because we're quitting at 499.
Don't tell him.
It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
Okay, Paul.
Anyway, So this week we're going to talk about Fantastic Four First Steps, Happy Gilmore Dose, movies that we want to catch in the theater for the rest of the year. So we're talking about movies that are coming out from August 1st through the end of the year, or I guess whatever this weekend. And then we're gonna do we're gonna talk a little box office showdown of the I want to say superhero movies, but like I don't think any of these people are really heroes.
I disagree.
I'm kidding. Oh gosh. Anyway, Darryl, how are you?
Not too bad. Although it took me 3 days to do something that we'll be talking about later.
I will say, I'm going to spoil something before we talk about Happy Gilmore. It has one of my favorite scenes maybe ever in a movie. And it's when Bad Bunny puts honey on Travis Kelce so he gets eaten by a bear.
That was the first time in the movie, it's like 40 minutes in or something like that, where I legit laughed out loud. I didn't chuckle. I laughed out loud.
I looked at Jen. I looked at Jen and I said, I didn't know Bad Bunny's happy place was the same as my happy place. Oh, gosh. We obviously have different opinions on Happy Gilmore. So we'll get to that. Was the never mind. I was gonna send something. Okay, real quick. Hulk Hogan, passed away. Super sad. Like I've been watching Hulk Hogan clips ad nauseum. When I found out on Thursday, I immediately went and watched WrestleMania 6 because that WrestleMania 3 was what made me like wrestling. WrestleMania 6 is what made me love wrestling.
Yeah.
And that was because of Hulk Hogan and like the promo mid Mania, the interview with Mean Gene, just that match, and then he's the biggest baby face in the world, and like you think he's gonna like turn heel at the end, and he rolls back in the ring, he hands the Warrior the winged eagle and raises his hand, and they hug. It was like a really cool moment for a kid who's like for kids in general who. Hulk Hogan was their hero. He said things. And to be 100% fair, not to support what he said or endorse what he said, but I'm sure a lot of you out there have said shit in private that you wouldn't want anyone to hear.
We always send these memes about if our texts become public record.
Oh my God! Between you and me, or me and Ricky, if those texts ever become public, none of us survive that. But
this is the thing with Hogan.
Yeah, he was recorded without his knowledge, and he said stuff that he wouldn't normally have said.
Yeah.
But like these wrestlers who are just like wrestlers are the pettiest people on the planet. The pettiest, and they're a bunch. Like some of them are like very strong men who could crush us, but they're also little fucking bitches. Mark Henry. But at the end of the day, none of them would have jobs. All of these wrestling specific YouTube channels and podcasts who've talked shit about Hulk Hogan would not have jobs if it wasn't for the fact that he made no holds barred.
I mean, that's a thought. Dude, I remember, I remember going to the movies to see that.
Oh gosh, yeah, I like
Teeny wankers.
so.
It ain't even worth it.
Zeus with the metal bracelets. Anyway, but like, yeah, what was Suburban Commando a good movie? No. Was Mr. Nanny a good movie? No. Was Thunder in Paradise a good TV show? Actually, the boat was pretty cool. It was like Airwolf, but a boat. I was
Yeah,
down.
really was.
Yeah. But all about that being said, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about their Mount Rushmore. Hulk Hogan he is the centerpiece of the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling.
Yeah,
hands down. If you have The Rock on your Mount Rushmore and you don't have Hulk Hogan, you don't understand anything about wrestling. I saw one the other day. It was Rock, Stone Cold, Cena, and Taker. And it's like, dude, you can't have three people from the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era, I was just talking about this the other day. I actually prefer the Ruthless Aggression Era to the Attitude Era.
You just like it because Cena says it.
Ruthless aggression, and then smack the taste out of his mouth.
And
I enjoyed it better. I really did. Like there is amazing stuff that happened, and we were there live. I went to live shows during the Attitude Era at WWE. There was a lot of great stuff. Don't get me wrong, but there was a lot of really bad stuff.
I mean that again. That's with any.
Yeah, that's anything.
Anything. Look, I just want to say this. I was never the Hogan fan. I was more of a fan of heels. Mm-hmm. I didn't like Hogan. I love guys like Mr. Perfect, Bad News Brown, all those guys. But the only face I really liked from beginning to start, middle, and end was Sting.
Yeah.
I don't care what Hogan did in the sanctity of his home where he was recorded beyond without his knowledge. I really don't care. What he meant for wrestling is what people are posting and talking about.
Yeah.
And the people that are getting pissed at that because he said this or that don't understand it. And if you feel like you have to apologize, for lack of a better, man the fuck up and say, you know what? I'm not apologizing for what I say. I'm saying what Hogan did in the ring. If you ever, just like Adam Pearce said, you're in the wrong place if you're going to come with that negativity. Right. But we've seen people apologizing and having to step away from social media because this is again
because he needs to do better.
Well, no, this is not just him, but this is the fact. This is the fact that when you apologize to the people that are ranting and raving, who are lunatics out there, what happens is you lose people like us who would have your back. And then you still don't appease the mob because the mob can't be appeased. That's what the mob is. You cannot appease it. So saying I'm sorry, saying I need to do better, or after I'm doing a lot of research, whatever you want to say, the second you apologize, they have you. And everyone knew when people were talking about Hogan that they were talking about what he meant to them as a wrestler and as kids who liked wrestling, right, and to the wrestling business.
Right.
But people want to make it about themselves. And if you fall for that, that's on you and you get what you deserve. If you can't understand that, if you can't stand up to that, then I don't feel sympathy for you.
No, agreed. Agreed. Anyway, but yeah, so I mean, like, we didn't get a chance to talk about this last week, so I thought, like, let's just kick off like with our banter part of it. Yeah, I don't know. I thought WWE was really respectful with 10 bell salute on both SmackDown and Raw. I thought AEW was a little disingenuous that they did something, considering Tony Khan came out and said, like, this was a couple years ago, that no member of the Hogan family would ever be involved with AEW. So it's like, if you're going to come with that energy, ride with it.
Again. So, honestly, I don't care. Like, I mean, if they gave him a tribute, I didn't see I didn't even see actually what SmackDown did. I'll need to go back and watch that.
It was really cool. It was a great. I mean, it's what they do best. The little packages.
Yeah, they do. They really do a good. Oh man, they do such a good job with those. So, but again, yeah, he said that. Yeah, that's fine. But again, if he wants to put a tribute to him, even if he said something stupid, you know what, good on you.
Yeah.
Because someone like Hogan, none of these people would be where they are today without what he did for wrestling. None of them.
Right.
So, like Forrest said, that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that. Wrestling is like a box of chocolates. You're going to get body slammed and thrown through a table. All right. Let's get started. All right. So there was a box office showdown at the movies this week. The Monday numbers.
You can call it that?
The Monday numbers
Question
just came
mark?
out. Yeah. So, the title is about superhero fatigue. And to be 100% honest, I do believe superhero fatigue is a thing, and I do believe both of these movies have suffered from it.
Yeah, I will say there are people that are tired of superhero movies. There's no doubt, but that is not the overriding cause to movies like this not doing well.
And I agree with that 100%. But, so Fantastic Four opened to 117. The adjusted numbers came through. 99 international. The international numbers aren't out for today yet, or for Monday yet. But all of that being said, like it pretty grossly underperformed because they were thinking it was gonna be around 140. At least Superman got adjusted down to like 95, so it overperformed.
Well, quote unquote.
Right.
Yeah. They really lowballed that on purpose, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, Superman's sitting at 506 right now, which is great. We didn't think it was going to cross 500. And it's held decently well. Its first weekend drop was, if you just look at the Friday number, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you don't count the previews, which I wish they would section those out again. Section out the preview numbers.
Yes, I'd agree.
Because it just those Friday numbers are super overinflated, and I'll talk about that. But like this weekend on Friday 7 million, Saturday 9 million, Sunday 7 million. I do think this affected both box offices with Fantastic.
Yes.
With Fantastic. I keep wanting to say Fanforstic, and like I don't want to disrespect this movie like that. But so first steps, I definitely think each one of them like kind of cannibalized a little bit of audience.
Yeah. Which honestly, I thought it was a very poor decision for those movies to say, oh yeah, we're going to have this movie here in July. Like, what are we doing here?
Honestly,
so yes,
if I was Marvel, I would have released this movie in December.
Yes, I think that's
I think it would have opened to probably 140, maybe a little more.
Yes.
All right. So, so where we're sitting right now. So let's. So after the Monday, Superman was at 137 million. Sorry. And Fantastic Four is way behind. It's at 128. It is, let's see. Superman was on 4,135 screens opening weekend, and this was 1,125. So there's not a big difference, not a huge difference. The big difference is the runtime. Fantastic Four was only an hour 55, and Superman is 2 hours and 9. So, that it seems like it's not a lot, but that plus 2 hour time frame, like, by the end of the day, Fantastic Four probably had another showing in there, somewhere.
I don't think that's a big deal, honestly.
No, I don't.
I know what you're saying.
But it's just like if Superman was like 230, 240, then that would be a bigger deal.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
But I do think by the end of the day, the number of showings that they had, Fantastic Four, it's bad for Fantastic Four that they were able to get more, at least one more showing in. And I know our theater, where I went, they had 9 a.m. showings for it, which they did not do for Superman.
Oh, well, showings over here had 9 a.m. for Superman.
Yeah, so
like they had the same showings here. Again, I'm just talking about the Florence one. I don't know where everywhere else, but like Florence one on weekends has 9 a.m. shows. I'm like, I don't know if I'll go to 9:30 maybe. So.
I mean, I love a good 9 a.m. showing.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
My 10 a.m.
I went to the gym and then I went directly to the movie.
Yeah, my 10 a.m. on Friday was pretty much full.
Yeah. So there were not a ton of people at Fantastic Four. When we saw Superman, it was really full. But we also went to the Amazon Tuesday preview.
Yeah.
Okay, so it opened its Friday at 1:57, and I want to say the Thursday only did like 12 million, or maybe it was 20. It was a little, whatever Superman did, it was a little less. So Superman did what, like 22? For the
22 was for the whole preview. For
previews for Fantastic Four, it was just a little under the total previews for, because you got to remember this movie sold a ton of tickets for previews.
Yeah, so, it did.
But like it dropped 41% from Friday to Saturday, and then another 18% from Saturday to Sunday. Which is not like, that's not what you want to see. Like, I mean, Superman held at 33% from Friday to Saturday, and only 16% Saturday to Sunday.
Well, and like I said, for Superman, I'm going to say the same thing for this. It'll be very interesting because Superman did fine. It did like 12, 5, I think, on a Monday. Fantastic Four did
12, 9. Yeah. So
yeah, but it did over 17 on today, the Super Tuesday. So I'll be curious to see the numbers on not just for Tuesday for Fantastic Four, but through the weekend, and what the that percentage drop from the opening weekend is.
Yeah. And,
so
I think word of mouth from the people who like Superman helped it. I think word of mouth from this will help it. I think people are just so gun shy.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. That's why I said, with the superhero fatigue, yes, there is. I'm not going to say, because people say that. But what's causing this is to what you just said, though, is people are gun shy from the stuff we've been getting the last 6-7 years. Mm-hmm. It's not. Yes, there are exceptions where there's good stuff or very entertaining stuff. Deadpool and Wolverine. You have Guardians 3. You have Spider-Man No Way Home. But there is a lot of mid to very bad stuff. I mean, even stuff I like. I really like Thunderbolts. I'm not going to say Thunderbolts was a great movie or even very good MCU movie, because what it did, and this was the issue. What Thunderbolts did was it put a lot of onus on characters nobody knew because they were in the TV shows. Right. Yes, Yelena and Red Guardian were in a movie, in Black Widow movie, who was another bad movie. So people are absolutely.
It was a COVID movie.
Yes.
So that came out
it should have been made
date on.
Yes, and it was a movie that should have been made 7 years ago. But
yeah. They
should
have done a Black Widow movie before a Talking Raccoon movie.
Yes. But like you said, people are gun shy because we've gotten a lot of bad stuff. And again, I'm just talking movies. I'm not even talking about the slop we've gotten on Disney Plus, because those are just those shows are, other than one or two that were good, like WandaVision. Mm-hmm. It was messy at the end. Mm-hmm. I liked Hawkeye, but that wasn't a great show.
No.
But there's a lot of trash in there. Yes. And people, like you said, are gun shy. And it's like, yeah, you know what? And this is the other thing. I'll wait 2 months and it'll be on streaming.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then you add to that the prices of tickets now. You add to that the popcorn is $50. I'm not going to even talk about the things that people get popcorn buckets for nowadays. But it's like this perfect storm. If for the last 6 or 7 years we got gym after gym, both of these movies would have done gangbusters.
Oh yeah.
But we didn't. And I don't care how much I like Fantastic Four. This is not the savior for the MCU.
No, and we'll get to that.
We'll get into that later, but
so.
yeah.
All
so
right.
I'll be very curious to see this weekend how the Fantastic Four does in relation to Superman and what it needs to do to be a success.
Yup. All right, you ready to move on to the next one?
Yes. On to the next.
All right, so we were sitting around talking last week, and Darryl, you came up with the idea like, hey, let's talk about the movies we want to see for the remaining half of 2025 in theaters specifically. And so we made a list. As usual, the majority of our list is the same. So why don't you do one?
That is funny.
What?
I'm just looking at. I finally looked at your list.
Yeah, I mean it's almost exact. So why don't you talk about the three that you have that are different, and I'll talk about the couple that I have that are different, and
all right.
We'll talk about the.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to hear you about Twinless. I don't know that one.
It's got Dylan. I'll go first with this one.
Let's just do it.
It's a dark comedy about a support group for twinless twins. like when their twin dies.
I knew what you were gonna say, and because you said it's dark, you like the idea. I knew it was gonna be dark.
So there's a couple things.
I had to laugh.
One, I want to go see this. Two, Dylan O'Brien is Haley's favorite actor, so I'll probably take her to see it. Since when it comes out, she'll be 18. So, because it comes out right after her birthday. Anyway, but yeah, and it's just one of those, it like kind of like friendship, it's kind of like,
which I need to see that when I know it's on streaming now. I want to see that though.
Which it's dark, but this is one. It's a Sundance movie. It's kind of the type of things that I really like to go see and support in the theater if I can. But yeah, it's literally like the story of two dudes who meet in a twinless twin support group. So yeah.
And it's not A24?
No, it is. I actually have the Wikipedia of it up right now. It's Lionsgate Roadside.
So, okay. Because that absolutely sounds like something from, would it be a
like
A24 or something?
A24, or like if it had a little horror bent to it, Blumhouse. So, but yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll just ping pong back and forth. Why don't you do? What is? I haven't heard of that movie. Tell me more.
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more? All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
One of the ones, it actually was last on my list, but I didn't even know they were making this. It's The Long Walk, based on Stephen King novella. Takes place in the future where, and again, I don't even recall it because it's been so long since I read it. The premise is you have these boys that volunteer, and I don't know if it's for citizenship or what, but it's basically a walk who the last person standing, quite literally, is the winner. There's no breaks. There's only 3 warnings, and on your 3rd warning, you are permanently retired from the competition, if you know what I mean. And the first trailer was really good because you have this very, Stand By Me, almost not quite sunny vibes, but this inspirational. And then as the trailer goes on, it gets a little darker when people start getting injured. And so I'm very interested to see how this movie is, adapted, because again, this is a novella, so it's not like a 500-page book where they have to cut a lot of stuff out. I don't know anything about the runtime, but this is one of those movies that I still remember that book. I mean, it's been like almost probably 2 decades since I read it. I still have it probably somewhere around here. I might give it a read before this comes out. But yes, The Long Walk. I'm really, really, I won't say excited about it, but I'm intrigued to see what we get.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I saw the preview for it. I was like, okay. So my next one is The Toxic Avenger. It's the Peter Dinklage Toxic Avenger movie that has been in development forever. It comes out in the end of August, the last weekend of August. So I like The Toxic Avenger. It's weird. It's subversive. It's really gonna.
I'd rather a RoboCop.
It's really gonna put the superhero fatigue into high drive for me. So.
I mean, that is just so different that, I mean, again, it's not going to make a lot of money, but I don't think the budget's really high.
No, it's.
I don't think so, at least.
I think it was like some of it was crowdfunded.
Okay, yeah, but again, I was not a fan of the original Toxic Avenger movie, so I have no interest in this. Sorry, but
yeah, so they finished making this one in
was it 23 or 2?
2023.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the budget on here. Lame. But it's Peter Dinklage and Jacob Tremblay. So Elijah Wood and Kevin Bacon. Okay, cool. We'll check it
out. On the opposite side of low budget, on the totally opposite side, is Avatar: Fire and Ash. Mm-hmm. Again, Avatar is one of those movies that if you watch the movie, this is the third one. The second one was The Way of Water. The second
one already came out?
Yeah, it came out. When did it come out? Was it at the end of 23, I think?
I don't know. I haven't seen the first one.
They all come out in December. So yeah, it had to be the end of 23.
I'm very proud of the fact that I've never seen any of these movies.
So you go to these movies because they are absolutely stunning. Like, you can say what you want about the script, the story, which is like 98% of movies out there. You've seen the story before in some way, shape, or form. You haven't seen a world like Pandora. You just haven't. Right. It is so well done. That's what I love about Avatar. It's not the story. It's fine. The story is fine. I mean, they have a thing called unobtainium. Like, it's like, come on, guys, be a little bit more creative. But that was from the first one.
Wait, what's it called?
So the mineral that the reason
obtainium?
Why. No, unobtainium. Yes,
because it's that unobtainable.
This was from the first Avatar. It's like, come on, dude. Hold on, come on, James. But anyway, the special effects, the CG is for Avatar is as good as you're going to find. But even that's not even the thing. It's the world that James Cameron created. There's just such a beautiful symmetry about the world and how everything interacts with the avatars. What do they call it? The Na'vi interact with their world, and that's what makes Avatar special. Way of Water was fine. Again, it did the way they showed water. Oh, by the way, I want to check that out on my 4K TV now to see how that looks. But Fire and Ash, there are 2 more Avatar clans. One is Fire Tribe. Yes, there's a Fire Tribe, and then I think there's another one. I just don't know the name of it. But I'm in this for the Avatar long haul. But so and again, it's one of those movies that is so much better seeing on a big screen, on a nice screen. So that's why I'm really looking forward to seeing that and seeing if we get some more new stuff.
Yeah. All right. My next one. Oh wait, I have yours up. Let me scroll down here. My next one's The Naked Gun, which I'm gonna go see on Sunday because I like Liam Neeson.
Who doesn't though?
I don't know.
I mean, he still made Ice Road Trucker or Ice Trucker or something like that. Ice Road, which was awful. And they're having a sequel to that, by the way.
What?
Yes. Anyway, but Naked again. I was a fan of the original Naked Gun. I mean, it's been so long since I've seen him, but there's something about this one. It's just, and again, like I said before we started, it could be because of the way comedies do trailers, where they show you the jokes, and sometimes they don't land because they're out of context.
Right.
So I'll check this out when it comes to streaming. See, that's what happens to some of these movies. It's like nowadays, it's like you wait 60 days and it's going to be out on streaming.
Yeah, it's a streamer.
So,
all right. So what do you got next?
And the other one I have is, what do I have this different? Oh, Nobody 2.
Yeah.
I put this on here, but I'm still not sold on it, to be honest.
I don't think this movie needs to be made.
No, there's no thing. I know this movie doesn't need to be made. Like, Nobody was that nice little gem that came out and was unexpected, and it was like, damn, this was a fun movie. Mm-hmm. I didn't need a second one. Mm-mm. So that's why I put that on there, because that comes out in a couple weeks, actually. Yep. I don't know. Like, I know I put it on there, but I'm just not sure if it's going to be a movie that I truly need to see in a theater.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the original one in the theater, so.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, so my last one is TMNT 35th anniversary release.
When does that come out?
In the second half of 2025.
Oh. So you do not have a date.
I do not. There's a date for it. I just don't know the date.
I saw it too, but so I actually might have to switch this up with Nobody 2, maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
Let's see. It's from Fathom. August 15th, 16th. August 15th through the 21st. So
okay. See a young Sam Rockwell?
Yeah. Young Sam Rockwell. Wasn't Kevin Nash? Oh no, he was the Super Shredder in the second one. But yeah, so I mean,
you may call me the Shredder.
The Shredder.
Maybe maybe I'll think about that.
I mean, you mocked me for wanting to see it before we started talking, so you're like, I've seen it already. I don't need.
Well,
to see it
after doing some research, and finding things out, I'm changing my ways.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Do better. God, what a fucking douche. Anyway. All right, so that's the movies that we want to see. All right, we're gonna do a review. We're gonna do a speed review on this one because Darryl doesn't want to talk about it.
This movie,
Happy Gilmore 2. Happy Gilmore 2. I have not laughed. Okay, let's just do the ratings. Out of 10 cameo-filled nostalgic rounds of Maxi Golf, what do you give this one?
I give this a 2. Yeah, it was.
I feel like you're overly hard. What did you say to me last week about Jurassic World Afterbirth?
I don't know.
You said I was overly harsh because I gave it a 2 out of 10.
I laughed in this movie 3 times.
Dude, I laughed my ass off at this movie.
Now, one laugh I will give you that I just I laughed out loud. I mean, it was very, very funny. And there was something else that I actually, because today I had to finish it, that I laughed again, not as loud as the first one, but I absolutely laughed. And then there was a couple chuckles, but there was just, for me, there was just two. And again, I'm a huge happy. I love the first movie. I really liked the first movie. And it didn't hit for me.
So like, All right, 46 million people watched this weekend.
Yeah.
So, probably more. It was 46 million like accounts watched this. So,
Yeah.
like probably multiply that by 3. Um, I like from the minute that like where it was like the how we got to where he is 30 years later, and why he doesn't play golf anymore. I laughed hysterically at that because I was like, yes, that is exactly what Happy would do and how this relationship ends. But like, with the drinking thing, like when he unscrewed the cucumber and had alcohol in it, you didn't laugh at that?
No.
Oh my God. Oh, when he threw the guy from Maxi Golf in the lobster tank, you didn't laugh at that?
No.
Oh my God. Why are you dead inside? Who hurt you?
It wasn't funny.
Who hurt you?
It wasn't funny.
Hold on. Why don't you lay back? We're going to have a little therapy session here. So Darryl, tell me, who hurt you?
Person that told me that, comedies are to make me laugh, not to make me want to slip my wrist.
Anyway, so the premise of this movie, it's about 30 years after he won his after winning the tour championship. He won 6 overall, which I do like that he became an actual good golfer, not just the long
not just
guy.
a one
also,
note. Yeah.
Odyssey is selling the putter.
Odyssey.
The golf club company.
Oh,
the hockey putter.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm like, do I want?
Yeah,
it?
that's actually that's pretty cool.
Like, I haven't like played golf in probably 12 years, but like,
show up on the course with that.
I show up with the Gilmore Bruins sock. Yeah. So he's now an alcoholic. He's now a widower. He's got all these kids who are horrible. MJF is amazing in this, by the way. But his daughter Vienna wants to go to ballet school in Paris, and so he returns to golf in order to get the money to do it. And in his first tournament back, he gets more than enough to send her back or to send her to school, but he gets fined $500,000, so he actually loses $4,000. And that was funny.
So Happy Gilmore, again, this movie did something that I just don't really like. Not in general, I just don't like. Is where we have a hero, or not a hero, a protagonist who gets to the top, and we see that just because, obviously not in the first movie, but we get the kind of, the short story of how he got to what he got to, and then you take it all away. Mm-hmm. I don't like that as a narrative. And this, you can go back to Rocky V when they did that.
To what?
I didn't like Rocky when they did. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but seriously, I don't like when a movie or a show, it's usually a movie just because, has this guy get to the top, or this person get to the top.
But this is the guy who was the first guy in his hockey league that tried to stab a guy with his skate. Like, it actually tracks that he could not.
I don't care. I don't care. And again, it's how I know you laughed at how she died. Mm-hmm. That was the thing that took me out of it the most, where I was like, this is dumb.
Well, she wasn't going to be in the whole movie because she's a very busy actress who is doing a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, again, I don't care.
Anyway.
I'm just saying, it just didn't work for me.
I loved Bad Bunny. I thought Bad Bunny was great.
I thought Bad Bunny was fine.
I've never heard a Bad Bunny song other than the one song that was
for wrestling.
Yeah,
for
the one wrestling that was
that
Backlash in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I like Bad Bunny as a wrestler, and I like Bad Bunny as an actor because he's been in a couple things, and like his
I really liked him in Bullet Train.
Was great. Yeah. Yes.
I will say I thought he did a solid job in this. Like I did like his character.
So, I like how he just carried the golf bag like he hugged it, even though he kept telling him that he can use the straps. But regardless, it's the nice thing about this movie is there is a little bit of like heartfelt, like,
yes,
yeah, like it's not quite like as wholesome, because you do see some dudes' butts, but like the pro golfers that were in this were great.
I will say the one thing I did like, and again, it can be difficult for a comedy to do this, because they all, a lot of times, again, like Marvel movies, wanted to make a joke in, when you're having a heartfelt moment. And again, this is what a lot of comedies do. But I thought there were a couple moments with him and his daughter that I thought were actually okay.
Yeah.
Again, not from a funny standpoint, but from like what you're talking about, a little bit of heart standpoint.
Yeah.
And that was was she the one that's his real daughter?
Yeah. No. His real daughter was his sponsor at AA.
Okay. So. All right. So I again, it's from a comedy standpoint, it just did not work for me. But it worked for you because
she was sorry, Sunny.
She was
Sunny Sandler. Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
My bad. I got them mixed up.
I think I looked it up and I thought it was a sponsor too for whatever reason. So, but either way, that part was solid. It's just, again, this is a comedy. This is supposed to make me laugh, and I'm judging it on being a comedy.
Sure. I mean, Scotty Scheffler going to jail and being the king of jail. You didn't think that was hilarious?
No. It could have been, but it wasn't. So if I'm looking at it that way, because I don't think this from a execution standpoint, because like I said, Bad Bunny was fine. Like some of the golfers were good, some of them weren't. The stuff between him and his daughter that were serious, I thought that was well done. So if I'm being on from a movie standpoint, I mean, I think it's like a 3.5, maybe. But as a comedy, it doesn't work at all for me. That's what. And I wanted to make
Charlotte,
sure.
His sponsor is his other daughter, Sadie. My bad.
Okay. So one thing I wanted to make sure I did not do is give it a worse rating than The Killer.
Yeah. So
that was a 1.5.
Okay. So yeah, I give this a 7.5. Haley came down at one point and she's like, it can't be that funny. I'm like, it is. Go back to bed. But yeah, in like all the fun cameos were in there. And by the way, Nikki Bella was Becky Lynch's caddy.
Oh.
So
okay.
So forgive me for not noticing that the first time when I was like, when Nikki Bella was in the movie.
I completely missed her.
Yeah, same. Even when I went back and watched just the end to like see where she was, it took me a second. I did like the Jack Nicholas and Corey Pavin and Nick Faldo and Fred Couples and all those guys, especially when they fell asleep on the couch. That was really funny. But yeah, all right. Obviously, we have to have a nice long therapy session to talk about this.
I don't think we've had this much of a score differential from a movie standpoint
since last week.
What do you mean? No, I gave Jurassic
World Afterbirth.
I gave that a 5.
By the way, thank you, Matt Mitchell, for Jurassic World Afterbirth. It's the only way I'm going to refer to it from now on.
Yeah,
but still, I mean, that's a pretty big difference.
3.5 and a 2 versus a 2 and a 7.5.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, it's about the same.
That's all right, Kenny.
Well, Kenny asked me what I thought about Fantastic Four, and I told him my score, and he's like, "So it's a near perfect movie." I'm like, "No."
No.
If John Krasinski was in it, like my score would have been different to make it near perfect. Anyway, All right. So Happy Gilmore, it's on Netflix. Go watch it. You didn't think the Screech stuff was funny?
Oh God, no.
With like, he thought Screech was tough, and they're like, oh no, it's the guy from Saved by the Bell, you know?
Yeah, no.
I do think it's funny that the guy's MMA name is the Philadelphia Badass. He should change it to the Philadelphia Battery Thrower. Anyway, all right. That joke landed like you thought all the Happy Gilmore jokes landed. All right. Let's talk about a movie title that's really hard to say. Fantastic Four First Steps. Like, try saying that, like, fast.
Well, it's worse if you're trying to do the initials. FFFS.
FFFS. FFFS. FFS. We should just call it FFS. FFS.
Hey, did you see? How did you like it?
What sound did Santino make with the cobra? Like, I'm a snake. I'm a sneaky snake. Anyway. Yeah.
But Fantastic Four First Steps.
Yeah.
To start, I will say this.
Let's do the ratings at the beginning after you finish what you're saying.
Okay. So, watching the trailers, I thought this movie was going to be a hot mess. I really did. And the closer we got to it, that only intensified my thoughts. I was like, of course I'm gonna go see it. I think it's gonna be terrible. You know, I was already traumatized by what we got in Superman. So I was just expecting the worst. And what is our rating out of?
This is out of 10 if it only had Jim from The Office.
Oh, yeah. I gave it an 8 point.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's what
so I gave it an 8.2, which when I've told people this, they were surprised, and I'm surprised. I am absolutely floored that I like this movie that much, because I truly was expecting it to be just horrible.
I just want to ask again, who hurt you? So I give this one a 0.31. I just changed my score. I've changed my whole stance on the movie after.
What were you saying about like petty?
When have I ever pretended that I wasn't petty? I'm petty, judgmental, and stubborn. Classic Sagittarius.
You have to add one more.
You're more like one of those like November Sagittariuses, like, you know, it's like a January Capricorn. You just want to deal with him. What are you gonna add? What's the fourth one?
You need to add a D, because what were you saying? You were petty, what, and stubborn?
I don't even remember now. I'll have to rewind the tape and
oh, come on.
I said petty.
Let's check the tape.
Petty, something, and stubborn.
Oh, because I thought it was like PTS, and I was like,
definitely indignant. I'm sarcastic.
We already had stubborn.
So. Yeah. So, anyway, I gave this a 7.31.
Yeah,
I actually liked 3/4 of the Fantastic Four characters. I think one of my favorite things was the look and feel of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm really curious as who actually directed this movie, because it definitely wasn't Matt Shackman. It definitely wasn't Matt Shackman.
Well, what did I text you after I saw it? That was one of the things. I was like, there's no way this guy did this.
Yeah,
right?
You said there's no way that this was Matt Shackman, and I was like, and when I knew you really liked it, because you're like, I'm not going to tell you anything about it. Wink, wink. Like, because if you hated it, you'd been like, oh my God, I fucking hated this. And then I'd have been like, I actually like it.
No, to be honest, I actually went in before I even saw it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. Like it or love it, hate it or despise it, whatever. I'm not going to tell him how I feel about it until he sees it, because I knew you were going to go see it 2 days later. That's why. So that was
How do
already
you
planned before I
feel
went to see it.
when you're on your own? Anyway, I was shocked at how good this movie is. Now, I don't want to say this is a great movie because I don't believe it is a great movie.
No,
I
it's not.
think if you are, which I don't really like to do this, but like if you're going to compare this movie to the other Marvel movies, like it is, post what's it called? Infinity War. It doesn't stand up. But I'll say this: what I liked
What do
about
you mean? Post Infinity?
like the post Infinity War movies, the pre Infinity War, Infinity War and
Oh,
before,
I
it does not stand up to
heartily
those.
disagree with that.
But
I heartily disagree with that.
anyway,
Hugely disagree.
I will say what I did like, Galactus obviously, Galactus was great. My favorite thing was the relationship between Johnny and Ben, and you pointed it out that you really appreciated that they never called him the Thing at all.
Mm-hmm.
That it was just Ben Grimm, which I thought was nice too. I love the look and feel. I want to see this. I would love to see more in this universe. I would honestly, if you're gonna do the X-Men, do the X-Men in this retro universe.
Ooh, I didn't think about that. That would be so much fun.
That would be so much more fun because you can get away with the cheesy original 5 X-Men.
That would be awesome, man.
Galactus. I loved the costumes. The costumes looked great. I liked how they were all just a little bit different. The Fantastic Car, I really did end up liking, but it was still kind of weird that it was just a sedan kind of a car. I wished Herbie talked.
Yeah, I wanted him to talk instead of doing his little R2 stuff,
and
he doesn't do it as well as R2.
Yeah, and his personality wasn't just a tape that went in that was very Baymax.
Yeah.
What I didn't like, and this is my quote to Brian Williams about this. Pedro is awful. You could never convince me he's a super genius. Super retard, sure, he's got that down.
Disagree. Continue.
All right. So, because what I don't understand is he's like, let's use all of the Earth's energy. Everybody turn their lights off at 8 p.m., but we're going to leave a couple lights on in the baby's room in the Fantastic Four Tower. It's okay. Don't worry. Baxter Building. We got this. Why not just build one of those things in the portal in space and have him fly, trick him into flying through it?
Probably because it'd be more difficult to do that. Because remember, originally, think about it. Originally, they were trying to transport the Earth, which
instead of trying
the ramifications of that, by the way,
right? Because they weren't taking the moon with them.
Yeah, and again,
also
you could have.
Oh, sorry.
You could have done something, and again, this is just where who knows, because we know this was edited up and down. You mentioned that we were talking about it the other day. There was a lot of editing going on in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Especially even a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So this might have been one of those things that were lost, because if you teleport a planet to another galaxy, or not even another galaxy, another solar system, there are a lot of factors of physics that you're going to have to take into account. And more often than not, the planet is going to just be destroyed.
So we both just finished reading Project Hail Mary, and in it, Raylan Grace says, even with a 2-degree variance in temperature, 20 different species will become extinct in the first 6 months.
Yes. So, the thing is, this is what I'm saying. You could have had Reed say something along the lines of, because this would have actually made his character even, come across even better, where somebody asks him about that and he says, I've taken this into account, XYZ, this, that, and the other, whatever. That's all you had to do. Again, we talk about this all the time, where a line or two here and there in a movie or a show, I don't care if it's plausible or not, but if it's plausible in that universe, that can make all the difference.
Oh, yeah. Right. Here's the other thing, is when they were in the Fantastic Four rocket, they were always 0G, even when they were under thrust.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how space
it depends on
works.
Well, it depends on the thrust too that they were, because you're not going to, it really depends on the thrust that they were going for.
But it was just cheap so they could float around when Sue was having the baby. Instead of paying for the special effects to have him stretch.
Hold on. This was the one thing about that I will agree with, is that they mentioned to have the baby, you need gravity. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, so they're speeding up or whatever. They're doing X, Y, or Z. Right. And then Ben floats out of the chair. I was like, that didn't make sense.
None whatsoever.
Okay. So, that's fine. The first 45 minutes of this movie, though, it was so much fun. And yes, it drags a little. I think that we need it. You compare it to Superman. Superman is nonstop for the most part. Yes, you have the conversation between him and Lois. Mm-hmm. You have one thing at the farm, but you never really get to see the characters truly interact.
Right.
This you do. Well, in one, because they live together in the Baxter building and all that. I mean, they truly felt like a family.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I really appreciated about this, because again, they should.
They've done this, but they did that better than any of the previous versions of Fantastic Four.
Yes. And I really like the other thing is that they made Johnny smart, because
yes.
Johnny, if you're, again, you can call, nepotism, whatever, but Johnny's an astronaut.
Chris Evans being smart. I wouldn't have bought that either.
Who was John? Oh, Michael B. Jordan. I was like, who was Johnny in Fan Force?
Yeah, but he wasn't smart in that either. He was I mean, he was smart. He was just the mechanic.
Yeah,
No, I liked Johnny. One of the things that we heard going in was that, like, oh, Johnny's not a womanizer. It's like, well, everybody loved Johnny. That was the cool thing about Johnny in this movie. And, like, you know why he wasn't a womanizer in this movie? Because he learned how to speak an alien language with records.
Yes. And that's what he actually did, something that mattered.
Yeah, he helped more than just flamed on. And in true Johnny Storm fashion, he is willing to sacrifice himself to save the family multiple times. I will say, if you like the Death of Johnny Storm comic book arc, that last,
I never read that.
The issue where he dies, and when he sacrifices himself to stay in the negative zone to stop Annihilus, is amazing. But the issue that follows it, it's an all silent comic book. It's just pictures.
Oh.
And like Thor and the Hulk come to like work with Ben, like, like be there for Ben, and they end up for like just panel after panel are just pummeling the shit out of each other. Like, like that's how they're working through their grief of losing Johnny.
Is that toxic masculinity?
No, it's like, holy shit, I think I'm gonna cry. Like, just thinking about
That's awesome though. Yeah.
Like I kind of choked up a little bit there as I was talking. Here's the other thing I loved about this movie. and I typically love anything with him now, is Paul Walter Hauser as Mole Man.
Dude, that was great.
Amazing. Like, if you want to talk about the best villain casting of a character in any movie, any superhero movie, Paul Walter Hauser.
Dude, he had one of the sickest burns in that movie when Johnny's walking away. It's like, don't be mad, I'm not the one who dressed you.
Right. Yeah, I just, even Moss Bacharach as Ben, like, I mean, it was just his voice, but like, I just wanted some scenes of him polishing forks and like, you know, really like talking about how they're gonna get the service out and delight the customers.
So a couple things I will like challenge. I thought Pedro was fine. I didn't think he was horrible at all.
He's a mouth breather. I never once bought him as a scientist.
I did. I will say I did. There were certain scenes where I thought he worked because of the writing, and like you said though, like if they would have had John Krasinski in this role,
9 out of 10.
like this would have been because I again for all of the stuff we talk about with Pedro, I personally like him as an actor. You know, I think you know he's a knucklehead, as I've told you multiple, as we've said multiple times. He's a knucklehead. But you know, you talk about massive talent. You talk about his one role, his like 5 minutes of fame in Buffy and Oberon Martell. And there are several movies that I like. I mean, I liked him as Joel, although I'm so glad I didn't watch season 2. But I knew what was going to happen in Last of Us anyway. So. But yeah, Krasinski would have been a much better Reed Richards,
especially paired with Vanessa Kirby, like aesthetically, age-wise. You know, all of that.
There is more of a like now the part of Reed that I thought could work that worked as a hyper intelligent person was he always felt distracted by what was like by the some of the interaction. However, at the same time, he didn't necessarily have the delivery of confidence of what he was talking about like he should have had. So in some respects, I did buy him, and then other times it was a little bit shakier. Right. So that's why I said he was fine. The other thing, because the one thing I said is I want to wait until I see this movie again. Because I don't want to do recency bias or anything along those lines. Because if we go back, I mean, I could tell you several movies in the MCU where I thought they were fine. And then as it went on, I liked it more and more. This movie for me, and again, this is just preliminary. I'm holding off to see it again. This is absolutely top 15 for me of an MCU's. Fighting for top 12 with movies like Captain America, the original, First Avenger, which that's a movie that I only thought was okay when I first saw it. And then I saw it again and I really liked it. Same with Thor. So it's in it's between those 3 movies
you should
where
give Thor: The Dark World that same energy.
I've tried, man. I even rewatched it a couple years ago and it has very, very good what's the word I'm looking for?
Gravitas. Restraint.
No.
Penultimate.
Some of the plot points and ideas are actually very good. It's the execution. And as we talk about Pedro and having John Krasinski, if we had someone who didn't mail it in the sense of Natalie Portman, I also think that movie would have been better.
You can't just blame Natalie Portman. It was also Christopher Eccleston. Like they were both.
Oh yes,
you're
100% right.
Like,
yes, both of them did mail it in. You're absolutely right.
So here's some other things I liked. I liked Natasha Lyonne. I thought she was a nice little like breath of fresh air.
Another little surprise.
You know, sad that she wasn't Alicia. Oh God, I can't remember her name now. Ben's typical love interest, the blind lady, but you know, it still worked. Right. So Julia Garner was in Ozark, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, so I didn't make it past the 8th episode of Ozark, so like that's why I don't remember that. I liked the relationship between Galactus and Shalabal. I think Norman Rand would have been a better choice for this movie. But I wish they would have put a little more work into the look and feel of the Silver Surfer. Like she just never felt like it was like one of those things. She just, there wasn't any like weight to her or gravity to her. Like when she was like surfing the riptides of like the fire and everything, there was no like wake behind her or anything like that. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, so like here's this cool background that they made, and they just dropped in CG Shalabal,
Yeah,
like catching
thought
some tubes.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot better than I was expecting. No, I don't. It was based on seeing her in the trailer,
Right?
where it was like, "What is this garbage?"
Well, and what was good is the way that they reflected on her and showed the light. Like one of the, I got served up a YouTube short on Saturday morning, and it was Michael B. Jordan during Fanforstic. They made a light suit for him that when he flamed on, like the CG, they lit the suit up so everybody looked like they were standing next to him, flamed on. So he was a part of the scene even when he was CG. I thought that was very, like, very
nice.
interesting. Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, it was like, oh, that's actually really cool, and that's a really good practical movie making trick. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I like this movie. I liked it. I'm not gonna buy it, but I'm definitely gonna watch it on Disney Plus.
And when you talked about, I'm absolutely buying this. So when you talked about, and I didn't even chime in when you were talking about Galactus. I love the look of Galactus.
Oh yeah,
like
it was note perfect.
There was he had one of the most diabolical scenes in the MCU when he was using Reed as a rubber band.
As a fidget toy. His ADHD got the best of him.
Yeah, it absolutely did. Because if you look at
made that the title of the episode.
Yeah.
Galactus's ADHD got the best of him. But I didn't want to spoil the like any of that. So like with
that scene,
the title. Yes, that was great.
Look, because there's almost like a childish look of glee on his face when he's doing it.
It's like ba-dung, 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 ba-dung.
I mean, that was dark. It was just like, are we gonna see?
It was like,
and I thought it was gonna be
Conquest was about to rip Oliver in half.
That's exactly. Yep.
So
just like slowly. When he could have done it just like in a second.
So that was the other thing with Reed is he only had stretchy arms and legs. Like, did you notice he didn't really change shape at all? He didn't go flat. Like, there's things like, I would have liked to have seen him like stretch out and like cover Galactus's face so that like Ben could try and trip him or something. Like there was just that.
And again, it goes back to the like, what did they like? What was how much of a mess was this film really?
Yeah.
Before they made some of these changes, or
I mean, it's still. Let's be honest, it's like still a little disjointed, but like,
especially the second half. But more, I think the first 45 minutes is as good as you can get for a comic book movie because I'm smiling the whole time, and I know the 10 or 11-year-old next to me was absolutely judging me because I could see her out of the corner of my eye, keep looking at me, and I wasn't laughing or I just had this stupid grin on my face. But there was, there was there were a few things here and there, especially in the second half of the movie that I thought could have been better, could have been done, but more like the Shalabal face turn, for example. There, from her seeing what she was responsible for, we don't see her again until we get that hot tag. Mm-hmm. So. There are a couple of things here and there in that second half of that movie I thought were that could have definitely been better.
Yeah.
Like no doubt.
All right, one last thing that I want to talk about, and then we can wrap it up because we're over an hour. Let's talk about Sarah Niles just having a summer. Dr. Sharon.
What do you mean?
Dr. Sharon was the president of the Future Foundation.
Oh yeah. She was in that. She was in F1.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Wasn't she in something else? I think I saw her, or was that something something older I was watching?
She was in,
but I did see her in.
She was in F1 Head of State Fantastic Four, and she's in the to be announced the Thursday Murder Club. She's also in the Toxic Avenger. She has 3 movies out this summer.
No.
Yes.
Okay, is she going Pedro?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, but she's not out there saying stupid shit with her head up her ass.
That's very true. And that does count.
Anyway.
That counts for something. Let's be honest.
All right. On that note, we gave the rating 8.2.
Go and watch it.
Yeah, go watch it.
Go and watch it.
I would say go watch this and Superman and tell me which one you like.
Yeah, because again, these are. I was really critical of Superman because Superman is one of my favorite characters. Mm-hmm. Fantastic Four, I have never been a huge fan of them in the comics, like reading comics. Yes, I've read it here and there, but I've never been a huge fan of them. So what I got, I was pleasantly surprised because, again, expecting the worst. And yes, I was a little bit harder on Superman. But I think as a movie, this Fantastic Four, from a clarification or from a start, beginning, middle, and end, mm-hmm. is just better. What better is done better. From the standpoint. Now, Superman does, I think, have good casting, and it had some good moments, but it's just a mess of a movie. Yeah. Whereas this does have some messiness in it. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. It is the second best Fantastic Four movie ever made. That's true.
I mean, the Roger Corman,
but the first 45. But the first 49 5 minutes. No, I'm just talking about The Incredibles.
Well, I mean, The Incredibles is the greatest Fantastic Four movie ever made.
Yes, that's not good. That's the bar. That's the bar.
Say, the last thing that I really liked is the love that they showed Jack Kirby, considering they were in the 828 and his birthday is August 28th.
I really appreciated that.
I almost wish
really
they would put this out on August 28th.
Oh, man.
Anyway, cool. You got anything else you want to add?
Go see it.
All right.
And like you said, Brian, go see Superman 2 if you can.
Yeah.
But if you have to choose, I'd say this. Fantastic Four. First steps.
Yeah. So I would spend money to see this again before I'd spend money to go see Superman again.
Yes.
All right. On that note, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. Have a good one. Bye.
See ya.
The Infamous Podcast is recorded in Kings Mills, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. You can find new episodes every Sunday on Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, our website, or anywhere podcasts are downloaded. This show is hosted by Darryl Jasper and me, Brian Tudor. To find more information about the show, visit us at infamouspodcast.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Infamous Podcast to keep up with the show. We also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/infamouspodcast. We have some great rewards for our patrons and are looking for help to grow the show to bring you more of the content you want to hear. Music for this podcast is provided by Michael Henry from meetmichaelhenry.com. So, whenever you're listening to us, have a great day, night, evening, weekend, whenever it is, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.